Hey, Sipsters, and welcome back to Sip and Talk. I'm your host.
And I'm Sunny.
You know, Sunny, I was thinking about something the other day.
Oh, yeah. What about...
Remember that time I tried to bake that super fancy cake? The one with like...
17 layers.
Yeah, and edible gold flakes.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. What
Let's just say my kitchen looked like a glitter bomb exploded.
Oh, no.
It turns out.
Baking is not your forte.
Not my forte at all. Maybe I should stick to sipping.
Definitely stick to sipping.
Speaking of sipping,
Ooh.
maybe garping, considering today's topic.
Okay.
We're diving into a question that's kind of heavy, but also super important.
Right, I'm ready.
Could humanity actually wipe itself out before even realizing what it's done?
Ooh, that's deep.
Like imagine walking face first into a wall because you're too busy texting.
Oh, gosh.
Not a pretty picture, right?
Nope.
So we've got some research and opinions on global conflicts and...
the big one?
Yeah, the big one.
Nuclear war.
To unpack today.
I am right.
What do you think? Are we all just one big distraction away from the apocalypse? I'm a little worried.
Let's just say I'm glad we've got our drinks.
Me too.
This one might get a little intense.
Yeah. One of the things that really stood out to me in this research was this idea that the horrors of war are fading from memory.
Oh, interesting.
Fewer and fewer people have actually experienced the devastation firsthand.
Yeah.
It's like if you've never seen a real-life zombie apocalypse, you know,
right.
It's easy to just think, oh, it's just a movie.
Totally.
But when the zombies are at your door, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's the same with war.
Exactly. Without that, like, visceral understanding of what war really means, it's so easy to downplay the risks.
Exactly.
It becomes this abstract concept, something that happens somewhere else.
Totally. And then it becomes so much easier to get caught up in that whole eye for an eye mentality.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they hurt us, so we have to hurt them back. But like our source material says, that just leads to more violence, more suffering.
Makes sense.
An eye for an eye makes everyone blind.
Ooh, I like that.
What's the point of fighting if everyone ends up losing their sight?
Exactly. It just becomes this, like, endless cycle of revenge.
Right.
You hit me, I hit you harder.
And on. Forever. That's what really scares me.
Yeah.
The source material pointed out how this cycle just keeps creating more enemies.
Oh, wow.
It's like for every person you take down, 10 more pop up angrier than ever.
Oh, no.
It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline.
Not a good strategy.
Not a good strategy at all.
Definitely a recipe for disaster.
And if you think about it in the context of nuclear weapons...
Oh,
well,
that's scary.
It's enough to make you want to build a bunker in your backyard.
Okay, hold on. Let's not spiral into doomsday prepping just yet.
Oh, okay.
But you're right. The stakes are terrifyingly high.
Yeah, the source material even said something like, there are enough nuclear bombs pointed at the United States to make the radioactive rubble bounce many times.
Oh, my God.
Can you even picture that? Radioactive rubble bouncing. That's some serious firepower.
It is, and it highlights this idea that...
It's not just skirmishes anymore.
Right, we're talking about total annihilation.
A nuclear war wouldn't be like anything we've ever seen.
It's almost too big to even think about.
And the crazy thing is, according to this expert, the people with their fingers on the button aren't even talking to each other.
What?
It's like, hey, Bob, let's just agree not to blow up the planet. Cool.
Yeah, just a quick chat.
But apparently that conversation isn't happening.
Oh, no. That makes you wonder, are we really relying on rational thought and communication to prevent a global catastrophe?
I don't know.
Or are we just hoping for the best?
Crossing our fingers.
And crossing our fingers.
Okay, now I am starting to feel that bunker urge again.
Okay.
But you know what? Maybe we should take a page out of history's book before we go full-on survivalists.
Yeah, good idea.
The source material mentioned World War I as a cautionary tale.
Interesting.
Apparently, a mind-boggling number of people died in that war.
Really?
And for what? A few feet of land here and there?
Oh, gosh.
It's like fighting over a slice of pizza when everyone's starving.
Yeah.
Doesn't really solve the bigger problem, does it?
Not at all. It just goes to show that violence rarely leads to the outcomes people expect.
Right. In the case of World War I, it left a trail of devastation that took generations to heal.
Wow.
And that's the part that really gets me.
What's that?
It's always the young people who pay the highest price for these conflicts.
Yeah.
While the older generation who made the decisions, they're often sitting pretty far away from the front line.
Yes, safe and sound.
There's this quote in the material that sums it up perfectly.
Oh, what is it?
Young boys who don't know each other, killing each other on behalf of old men that do know each other.
Wow.
What's the point of that?
That's heavy.
It's a heartbreaking reality.
It is, and it makes you wonder, are we truly learning from history?
Yeah.
Or are we just doomed to repeat the same mistakes over and over again.
You know, Sunny, that's a pretty heavy thought to end on.
It is.
I think I need a refill. How about you?
You read my mind. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and dive back into this.
Okay, sounds good.
Maybe we can find a glimmer of hope somewhere in this mess.
All right, Sipsters, hang tight. We'll be right back. Seriously, sometimes you just need a little something to settle the nerves when you're talking about the end of the world.
Right.
Like, what are we supposed to do with all this information?
I know it's a lot.
It's enough to make you want to crawl into bed and pull the covers over your head.
Well, hiding isn't going to solve anything, is it?
True.
I think the first step is acknowledging that we have a problem.
Okay.
And honestly, just having this conversation, trying to understand the issues is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
At least we're not just blindly stumbling towards oblivion.
I guess you're right. Awareness is key.
Yeah.
But it still feels so overwhelming.
I know.
Like, what can one person actually do to change the course of history?
That's a good question.
It feels like a lot.
I think it starts with education.
Okay.
We need to understand history.
Like, really understand it.
Not just the dates and the battles,
Right.
but the underlying causes of conflict,
Oh, okay.
the ripple effects of violence.
Yeah.
And we need to be critical thinkers,
Ooh, I like that.
questioning everything,
Even our own beliefs.
especially our own beliefs.
Okay, so education, critical thinking.
Right.
But what about action? What can we do in our everyday lives to, not blow up the planet?
Yeah, good question.
What can we actually do?
Well, it doesn't have to be about saving the world in one grand gesture. It's about making conscious choices.
Yes, even in small ways.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Choosing kindness over anger,
Right.
empathy over judgment,
Go.
promoting understanding in our own communities.
Yeah.
So you're saying if we can create like pockets of peace and sanity in our own little corners of the world,
Right.
maybe that can spread outwards.
Exactly. It's like,
I love that idea.
yeah.
It's like, we don't need to be superheroes.
I know.
Just decent human beings.
Right.
And hey, maybe those small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect.
I think so.
You know, like when you smile at someone on the street and they smile back?
Yes.
It's a tiny thing,
totally.
but it can brighten someone's day.
Exactly. It's about creating a more positive, compassionate environment.
And that's something we can all do.
Right. Because let's face it, anger and fear are contagious.
Oh, that's true.
But so are kindness and hope.
That's a good point. And speaking of hope, maybe there's something to be said for simply remembering our shared humanity.
Oh, I like that.
You know, that even in the midst of all this conflict,
Yeah.
we're all just people trying to navigate this crazy thing called life.
Absolutely. We all have hopes, fears, dreams.
We all want to feel safe and loved.
Right. And if we can just connect with that shared experience,
Yeah.
maybe we can start to bridge those divides that seem to be tearing us apart.
It's like imagine if instead of seeing each other as enemies,
Uh-huh.
we saw each other as fellow travelers on this journey called life.
I love that.
Maybe we wouldn't be so quick to jump to conclusions,
Right.
to demonize each other,
Yeah.
to resort to violence.
Exactly.
It's about shifting our perspective,
Yeah.
seeing the world through a lens of empathy and understanding.
And maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
if enough of us start doing that, we can change the trajectory of humanity.
It's a pretty radical idea.
It is.
But hey, stranger things have happened.
That's true.
Speaking of radical ideas, I think it's time we shifted gears a bit.
Okay.
We've been talking about some pretty heavy stuff.
We have.
And I think we could all use a little mental break.
Ooh, I agree.
What do you say, Sonny?
I'm ready.
Ready to lighten the mood?
Absolutely.
All right, Sipsters. You know, we love to keep things balanced here on Sip and Talk. We dive deep into the serious stuff.
Right.
But we also like to explore the lighter side of life.
Of course.
And that's where YouTube channel Mickeytolife comes in.
Yes.
It's our little corner of the internet, our discoveries, and of course, our love for all things whiskey.
It's a fun time.
Exactly. Well, it's all about travel stories, whiskey reviews, unboxing videos, and just general good times.
So much fun.
It's like a virtual escape, a
Yes.
chance to experience something new and exciting without even leaving your couch.
We've got everything.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
And we'd love for you to join us.
Come on over.
So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all the doom and gloom,
Understandable.
head over to Mickeytolife. Let's have some fun together.
Yes.
We guarantee you'll leave feeling inspired, entertained, and maybe even a little bit tipsy.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. And cheers to finding moments of joy and connection, even in the face of challenges.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, Sipsters, that's it for part 2 of our deep dive.
We made it.
We've explored some dark corners of humanity.
For sure.
But we've also found glimmers of hope.
Yes, and remember, even small acts of kindness can make a difference.
Absolutely. So go out there and spread some love, some understanding, some good vibes.
Yes.
We'll be back for part 3, so stay tuned. And we're back, Sipsters, feeling refreshed and ready to finish up this deep dive.
Absolutely. Sometimes you just need a little mental palate cleanser to jump back into the serious stuff.
So true. Okay, where were we?
Oh, yeah.
Teetering on the edge of self-destruction.
Still there.
But you know, one thing that keeps coming back to me is this idea of individual responsibility.
Oh, interesting.
Like we've talked about the big picture, the wars, the weapons, the scary stuff. But what about our own choices?
Right.
Do they actually matter in all this?
I think they matter more than we realize.
Really?
Every choice we make, every action we take, it contributes to the energy of the world.
Oh, wow.
It's like that saying, be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
It might sound cheesy,
It does.
but there's a lot of truth to it.
So you're saying that even something as simple as choosing to be kind to a grumpy cashier could potentially,
Maybe.
I don't know, prevent a nuclear meltdown.
Well, maybe not that directly, but think of it this way.
Okay.
Acts of kindness, compassion, understanding,
Yeah.
they create a ripple effect.
Oh, okay.
They spread outwards, influencing the people around us and creating a more positive atmosphere.
I can see that. Yeah.
You might not see the results immediately, but over time, it can grow into something beautiful.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
It's like we're all connected in ways we don't even fully understand.
Right.
And our actions, even the small ones, can have consequences that reach far beyond ourselves.
Exactly. It's like that butterfly effect thing.
Oh, yeah.
A butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil.
And it causes a hurricane in Florida.
Maybe not that dramatic.
Okay.
But you get the idea.
Okay, I'm officially mind blown.
I know, right?
So what you're saying is if we want to avoid global catastrophe, we need to start by being better people.
Pretty much. It's about taking responsibility for our own thoughts, words, and actions.
Right.
Choosing love over hate.
Peace over violence.
Understanding over judgment.
Yeah.
It might sound idealistic,
It kind of does.
but I truly believe that's the only way we're going to get through this.
You know what, Sunny?
Yeah.
It's starting to feel a little bit of hope creeping in.
Me too.
Like maybe we're not doomed after all.
I don't think so.
Maybe if enough of us make the conscious choice to be better, to do better, we can actually turn things around.
I think so too. It's not going to be easy.
Definitely not.
But hey, nothing worthwhile ever is.
All right, Sipsters, we've reached the end of our deep dive.
We did.
We explored some pretty dark and twisty paths today.
We did.
But hopefully we've also shed some light on the path towards a brighter future.
I think so.
Remember, even in the face of overwhelming challenges, there's always hope.
There is.
And even small acts of kindness can make a difference.
All right, everyone, that's a wrap. Stay curious, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay hopeful until next time. Cheers!
Cheers.